Welcome back, everyone, to Find Music. I switched up the background just a little bit just to put a little variety in the albums. Check that out later. But for now, our leadoff man is here, Fred Whitlock, to take you on another musical adventure.
Well, last year I reviewed the latest Jeff Larson album, Adobe House. This year he's come out with a new album with Beckley of the group America. Beckley's been on a solo career, and both of them have numerous albums out. Beckley's worked on a few of Larson's albums and produced them. And Larson's appeared on a couple of Beckley's albums, but today they're together with a new album, Jeff Larson with Jerry Beckley. And it's that soft California Laurel Canyon singer-songwriter sound of the close to what came out in the 70s. If you like the group America, you'll like this album. It's great songwriting. I believe the harmonies are warm and they've got great musical talent to pull this off and make it an enjoyable album. They do a cover of Live for Today, the grassroots 60s song. They kind of bring it down a bit and reimagine it and make it very creative sounding. The twin vocals have a classic sound to them. It's that kind of folk rock, power pop sound. And the spirit they enthuse in this album keeps this music alive and well, and I enjoy it quite a bit. A person that Jeff Larson's worked with is a musician, singer, songwriter, Jeff Foskett. And Jeff Foskett is deep into California sound, Beach Boys sound. He's been around, was around for quite a while. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2023. This is an album called Something There, Remembering Jeff Foskett. And it's a great album to start with if you don't know him. He started his career back in the 70s. He's worked with the Beach Boys. He was in on their tours, the Mike Love version, doing all the high falsetto and high vocals for the band. And he also worked with Brian Wilson. I saw him on the Smile tour that they did, Smile, the album live, and he was amazing. Uh, this album is 25 tracks, and 16 of them have been previously unreleased. His estate helped put this album out. It's great power pop, California sound. There's so many people on this album on a couple of cuts. Brian Wilson's on a couple of cuts. David Pack of Ambrosia's on a cut with him. Robert Lamb from Chicago is on this album. The group America, Mike Love's on it. The Lost Straitjackets, Christopher Cross. It's it's a wonderful place to start to get to know this artist, who unfortunately didn't make a big name for himself, but he's got over 13 to 14 albums out. And I would suggest going look for him. And there's some great cuts on here, some cover songs like Little GTO from the 60s. I Can Hear Music. The Beatles' Love Me Do. Uh, he came out in 1996 with his first album, Through My Window. And he's got like I said, other albums. So this is a great place to start, find out about them. Jeff Foskett, Something There. For those who love electronic music, there's Liquid Center, which came out this week. Electro GUZZI is the name of this group. And turns out they have 11 albums out, which I just discovered them. They're a techo electronic band, but this is, according to most critics, this is something a little bit different from their other albums. They bring it down a bit. They shift into from warm sounds to weird sounds. They got a great perspective in their music. It's guitar, bass, and drums. They do this, most of the stuff is improvised, and they just layer the sounds on, and it's live in the studio. Spacey, soulful, and the guitar just hums and roars sometimes. They're from Austria, and they formed in 2004. And the textures on this album are great. I like it. They definitely explore sound and space, and the the grow and the groove is right there all the time. Every time you listen to it, you pick up something else they're doing. You're going, "Whoa, I didn't catch that the first time." That's an album that the way I like to hear electronic music. Uh, there's a jazz group with a harpist as their leader. It's called Dialogue Thoughts, Dialogue of Thoughts, and Harper Trio. It's led by Maria Christina Harper, and she's got a trio with a drummer and Josephine Davis on soprano and tenor sax. She plays electric and acoustic harp on this album, and it's got some great moments in here. They take this music everywhere. It's improvised sometimes. It's jazz fusion energy in it. They jam. There's a song called Inner Thoughts where spoken word is quietly transcribed over the music, and some of the time gets intense, then it's quiet, then it comes back to very experimental. And she chooses her chords very mindfully, and this band just goes into places you haven't heard a band go in before, sometimes with the combination of instruments. It's a great place to start with her, the Harper Trio. Then another album came out this week on Friday, last week on Friday, Doug Raney Quartet. And unfortunately, he passed away. And he's a jazz guitarist that's not too well known in the States because he moved to Denmark at some point and mostly toured in Europe and the Scandinavian countries. He's the son of a more famous jazz guitarist, Jimmy Raney. And this album was released by his estate, and it's a studio live in the studio from a Danish broadcasting company. And if you like jazz guitarists, you'll like this album. He really plays extremely well. His first album came out in 78, so this is a good place to start and go back. and look at the rest of his catalog. He does some jazz standards like I'm Old Fashioned. The title tune is a Nat Adderley tune. And he does a great version of Giant Steps, the John Coltrane song, but gently. It takes it in the whole musical area that you haven't heard this tune done in this style with a jazz guitar as the main instrument. He really puts in his musical personality in this tune. And his technique is energetic, and each note just drifts out into the air. And I think this is a great album to start with. Doug Rainey Quartet and Never Say Yes. And then go back and look at the rest of his catalog and give it a try.
Well, another great set of things to check out. You're covering all the bases. Way to go, Fred.